Hello everyone, I'm back. So how did I choose the Philippines? I think that's going to be the title of this video. A little background on myself. I was married to a girl from Japan. I met her in the United States. She had 2 children when we met. Long story short, and just because I really don't want to get involved too much in my personal life, she's now an ex. Both boys still live with me. Uh, they were her children from a previous marriage, and no, we don't need to get into all that. They live with me. We're no longer together. So with my work, I traveled all over the continental United States. Just in case anyone happens to be watching this and they're not from here. The lower 48 or the continental United States is 48 states primarily make up the mainland. Then you have Alaska and Hawaii, plus a lot of other territories. So I had never been out of the 48, with the exception of a vacation like to Cancun, which is basically Florida, just in another country. But I'd never been to an island. And several years ago, a big typhoon, I think it was Typhoon Shoulder, hit Saipan. And the company I worked for, we sent us over there, and that was my first real experience with a tropical island. It was great. I fell in love with the whole experience. It was really wonderful. In the process of that, I met a lot of people from all over the world there. A lot of people from Japan, Korea, China, Philippines. A very mixed bag of people in Saipan. It's pretty much a tourist area. And it was great. I really enjoyed the time there. When I got back, I started watching a lot of videos. And the original plan was to travel Southeast Asia. I wanted to go to Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines. That was my ultimate goal. And it was, where do I start this journey to go over there? And so I started watching a lot of videos, and lo and behold, I discovered several of them, like Rike. I think I discussed this in my other video, several of the vloggers that I watched. And I thought, wow, the Philippines are probably a really good place to start. I'm primarily, to be honest, because of English. I saw a lot of things where they said a lot of people there speak English. And that's actually a pretty good idea for another video. The English is that they learn in school, not from speaking. So I'm from the South. I have a weird accent compared to a lot of other people from the U.S. But theirs is much more proper. And let's face it, guys, these people over there, they usually speak 2 or 3 different languages. So don't judge a book by its cover, okay? But that was a big draw for me. I thought, well, it would be much simpler for me to be able to communicate and get my feet wet, if you will. So I ended up pulling the trigger, planning my first trip. I go there immediately. I meet another couple, Rob and Michelle. Big shout out to you guys if you happen to see this. Great couple. End up going over to their house. We still stay in contact now. They actually moved from there. They actually live in the U.S. now. I'm still in contact with them. They're just really good people. And, he showed me the ropes. He, taught me a few of the dirty words in Tagalog, and introduced me to some of the bar scene and took me out and showed me some local stuff. We went to some of her family's place, and I just fell in love with the Philippines in general. And I knew right then, this is a place where I would like to visit more, at least. I don't know that I was really thinking about moving there at that point in time. I may have been, I really don't remember. But I remember when I left and I got home, all I could think about was getting back. And that's really when it hit me. That is the place I really want to retire to. I would still like to visit these other places. I would still like to go and see them. If I was single, I would want to have my home base in the Philippines, travel and visit these other areas, which works out really good if you're on a tourist visa. because you do have to leave and come back. You can't just stay there forever. Or even, now that I've actually met someone and I fell in love with a Filipino girl, now she could actually travel with me. I think that would be very enjoyable too. Experience a lot of it together. And so, but anyway, this is about the first um, picking it, or I sort of feel like the Philippines picked me more so than I picked the Philippines. Okay. So anyway, so I get home. All I can think about is getting back. Work took off. I was real busy for a long time. It was about a year past, and I made another trip back. Now this time I went online, which I highly do not recommend after doing it. I did the online dating app deal, where I said, okay, I'm going to go online. I'm going to talk to a few people, maybe meet somebody over there. It'd be nice if want to check out the dating scene. So I get there, and sure enough, one of the girls I was talking to, she immediately, as soon as she found out I was in country, she was there, boy, just right on the spot. I didn't tell her what day I was getting there, okay? So she didn't meet me at the airport. I was at my hotel. It was the next day. I, rested and got over the jet lag from the flight. And she sent me a message. I forgot. I think she sent it on I didn't have Facebook then. I'm not a very big Facebook fan. I forgot what she sent it to me on. Viber, something like that. And I said, yeah, I'm here. Within a few hours, she was there. And really a nice girl. I was really enjoying spending the time with her. Seemed like a very nice girl. We were getting along well. She stayed for quite a while. And we ended up going. She wanted to go meet her parents. Well, let me back up. Before that, she had her sister come over. She had a couple of friends come over to the hotel. They'd swim. They'd stay for a few days. It was really fun, okay? Really will make you feel at home, very comfortable. And then it started going downhill from there, okay? She wanted me to meet her parents, which was great. So I go. I actually rented a car. It's quite far. I do not recommend renting a car in the Philippines, guys. Any of you that have been to Mexico and seen how they drive in Mexico, that times 10. Okay? It's not really where you want to be driving. It's not that expensive to get a taxi or to ride a jeepney or a tricycle. Once I'm actually there more full time and people have known me better, I might get a moped. I've discussed it with my girlfriend. If it's your first time over there, just say no. Don't do it. Okay? Listen to the other vloggers. It's a mistake. Avoid it. So anyway, I rent the car like an idiot. We drive over to where her parents were at, Mexico, very close to Angeles, Pampanga. And we get there, and man, there's cousins. It's a big family. There's people. There were probably about 35 people there. And got to meet the family. We drank some. I took a case of Cokes and a couple of cases of beer. Gonna, being the good foreigner, bringing gifts, and we get there, and it was a basic meal. They had some fish and sisig, and I don't know. They had 3 or 4 things. It wasn't a whole lot of food, but it was a fairly large amount. A lot of people. A bunch of rice, of course. And we eat, and we're sitting around talking, and we stayed. Actually, we left early in the morning and drove over there. We were there to dark, okay? And right after the meal, it's like her parents just disappeared. I didn't even know where they went, okay? But it was like an aunt and an uncle and some cousins and her sisters. We're all there. And I vape too, by the way. So we stayed so long, we were actually starting to get hungry again, I volunteered, let's go to Chooks to go get some chicken. We hop on a little trike they had there, me and a couple of their cousins. I actually got to drive it. We take off, go over into the town area, buy several chickens. Of course, I'm paying for it all. We get back, and I mean, I sound like I'm bitching about it. I'm really not trying to bitch, okay? I did not mind paying for the chicken at all. Um, but we get back, and we're eating the chicken. And it's starting to get dark, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried because I really didn't want to drive at night. I knew I probably shouldn't have been driving in the first place, and driving at night, I was thinking, ugh, I probably shouldn't be doing that. And so I was, getting a little, I was just about to leave her ass there, to be honest with you. I finally put my foot down and said, I'm going. If you're coming with me, fine. If you want to stay here, that's fine too. I'm leaving. And unbeknownst to me, the reason she was not wanting to leave is because her parents were not back yet. And so I just tell everybody, I said, look, it was really nice meeting everyone. I mean, I'd already told them this 18 times, but it's getting dark. You know how traffic is here in the Philippines. I'm leaving. I'm going back to Subic, back to my hotel. So I get in the car. Of course, she come run over, hopped in the car too. And now we're leaving. And of course, here comes all this family out on the street and like stopping us, like, oh, can you get so and so a ride on your way back? Sure. Then we get just out. You had to kind of drive up this little road and turn to go, it wasn't on the main road, okay? And as we're getting out there, here comes their parents hauling ass back on another little tricycle they had. And they were trying to get back before we left. And of course, then her mom's out there speaking in Tagalog, so I couldn't understand, okay? But I understand when there are certain words that are in American, like Marlboro, okay? Cerveza, I forgot exactly how they say it there in Tagalog, but I knew beer, I knew cigarettes. And her mom's talking to her daughter saying, he needs to pay us for this food. We spent a lot of money on this food. And long story short, or long story longer in this case, she wanted me to pay, I forget, it was 12 or 15,000 pesos for this meal. And at this point in time, I had already spent quite a couple of weeks with this girl, and had already expressed that I would really like to move there. And I was asking and inquiring, about expenses. I should have figured this up before I did it, but just for those of you who don't know, 15,000 pesos is approximately $300, okay? Now, $300 is more than what most Filipinos will spend on food in 2 months. And, I never claimed to be the brightest crayon in the box at all. But I'm not the dullest color in there either, okay? So I knew I was sort of being had a little bit on this 15,000 pesos, which really pissed me off. If anybody happens to know me, you can do almost anything to me. You can say almost anything to me. I don't really care, okay? It's words. I'm not hurt by words. Don't use me. Don't make me feel used. Don't take advantage of me. Don't take advantage of people I know. I will get upset if I see someone I don't know being taken advantage of. Okay, that's just the type of person I am. I don't like it. It's one of my pet peeves. It's one of the things that I discussed numerous times. I'm sure my girlfriend, she'll probably watch this and she knows, and I hope maybe this gives her some clarification on it. It's just one of those things that just bugs me so bad all the way deep into my soul, is to feel used by someone or see someone be used by someone else. Okay, I mean, part of that comes from my father. Okay, my father just raised me. You don't do that. It's just wrong. So, anyway. So I felt like I was being used. Moreover, I felt like wow, this girl is not taking up for me. And I had watched a lot of the videos from these people. Okay, so you see the videos and you hear the people say, you're the foreigner. It doesn't matter if you get married to the girl, you're always the foreigner. I'm not like that, okay? I am from the South. We are not like that at all. If we marry someone, I become part of their family, they become part of my family. We are one family at that point. That's just how we are, okay? It may not be everybody. I know everybody's different, but predominantly in the South, that's how most Southern people are. Okay. But I read all these horror stories online. You're listening to the videos and read blogs and vlogs and everything else. And they're like, oh, yeah, she'll never take up for you. If it comes between you and her family wins, period. And I thought, wow, this is that situation. I will say this, a big shout out to my girlfriend now, because we have discussed this numerous times. And I mean, it may come back and bite me in the ass, but I think she really understands it. And she really, I believe in my heart she understands how I feel about it. And I believe in my heart because I have tried to include her parents when I've talked about different things, and tried to make them know that I consider them my family now. Okay? And in hopes that they will also accept me and think of me as part of their family also. Now, we haven't had a test to actually be able to try it yet, so we don't know. I mean, I may be, blowing smoke up my own ass. I don't know. But I have hope, okay? So, and I'm going to keep it. Anyway. So I got a little frustrated that this girl didn't take up